How's it going, guys? It's Thomas here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing an interview with Champ Island. There'll be some game footage playing in the background as always. Be sure to let me know what you think about this video and let's get right into it. Who would you say is the best teammate you've played with in all of 2K?
Well, I've only played for two teams, really. So, I played for Throwdown and Island Gang. So, personally, I'm going to say my favorite teammate of all time that I played with, it's either probably going to be Dev, maybe Moody, or maybe it's between Dev and Moody, pretty much.
Alright, cool. Who would you say is the hardest matchup or opponent you've played against? That's either a team or a player. It's up to you.
Actually, the hardest opponent, because everyone always thinks Space Jam, they'll probably say Still True. Personally, I think the hardest used to be Late Night Crew. That's the team that had NJ Sick One and Recent them on it. That was actually one of the harder teams to stop, in my opinion. I think it's not hard to stop Space Jam and Still True back in the day.
Alright, cool. What about an individual matchup? Just the one player?
One player, one player that's really hard to stop. Usually it's going to probably be a point guard or a center. So, I think a player that's really hard to stop is somebody like Ramo, because Ramo can do everything on the floor, in my opinion. I think he's one of the best players in the game, so he's definitely one of the hardest people to stop overall, especially as a big man when you're playing against a team like Space Jam and you have to play against two bigs versus one. It's definitely one of the harder players to play against.
Alright. So if you were to change positions, where would you play and what archetype would you use?
If I was to change positions, obviously we don't know what the next 2K is going to be like, but maybe if it's the same archetypes as it is this year, I would probably play the position of a slasher, to be honest with you. I think slashers are one of the most underrated positions in 2K, and they're not really used to the best ability because it's a shooting offense. Everyone has a shooting offense. No one really has that slasher offense other than Throwdown. So,
alright, cool. Who would you say are the top 5 players you've played with in all of 2K on ability-wise?
Okay. Ability-wise, I definitely think that Dev deserves to be in the top 5 conversation because without Dev Goss, he definitely, Throwdown is nothing without Dev Goss, so I definitely think he deserves to be a top 5 player. He took his team to $250,000. I think that another one would probably be Ramo. He's definitely deserves to be in the conversation. I played with Ramo and Who's Your 5. He's definitely a smart, intelligent player that can coach up a team. So, he has more than just his abilities on the court. He has a very good leader. He has very good leadership, and I think he's an unsung leader on that team, Space Jam. Another guy would probably be NJ Sick One, just because NJ Sick One is one of the only big men I know that can actually play really good. Hot Shot can play good defense, but I still think that Jerry is really good at defense, and that's what he has over Hot Shot. Another person I have in my top. Let's see. I have those 3. I'm just trying to think of 2 other people. Lockdowns wise, as of right now, I think Wolf is the best lockdown, but doesn't it's hard to put him in the top 5 just because he hasn't done much. So I guess you would still have to put Timely Cook in that conversation as a top 5 lock, just because he's won money. So and he's also has a lot of other accomplishments. I'm pretty sure he just won an MPBA season. So definitely got to say Timely Cook deserves to be in that top 5 conversation. Everyone talks about all these point guards, they're the quarterbacks of the teams, but I don't think any of them deserve to be in the top 5 conversation because they're at a position that gets all the attention. So I'm just trying to think of one more guy. I want to see. Obviously there's guys on PlayStations. I'd probably actually Mr. Styles. Mr. Styles actually deserves to be in the top 5 conversation, in my opinion, because obviously Mr. Styles did win a tournament in the past for $250K, but he also, even after his team pretty much became irrelevant, he still kept himself relevant with his abilities, and he can play either lockdown or even the point guard position. So I think having a player that can do multiple things and have more than just one position that you have talent at, I think that's great to be talented at multiple positions. So Styles would be my top 5.
Okay, cool. So, how did you get into playing 2K?
Originally how it started because I originally played for Island Gang. I won't be playing for them next year, but originally what it was we used to play Madden together. I actually met them for the first time this summer. We decided to go to 2K because Madden got rid of team play. We decided to go to 2K because they had crew. So we played crew back in the day on 2K, and eventually we ended up playing Pro-Am, and we had the fourth ranked team last year. This past year, obviously, they had a very successful year. I didn't play in the 250K tournament because I was in nursing school, but I've played with, a lot. Like I said, like Island Gang, we definitely, we work close, but I'm going my own way. I'll probably be playing with Dimes a lot next year. Trying to think what else with Island Gang. I think the biggest reason we played 2K is just because it was something that we were very good at together, and I think the reason we were so good is because we had a core group, and we didn't have I think that's the most important thing when you play 2K is you don't want to play a game unless you have a group of people that you like to play with, and I think that's why 2K works so well for us because we were just we're very talented at multiple video games. We don't have to. We're not going to be the best at them, but we're very talented at all games we play. And I think that's what what makes us good at playing Pro-Am and stuff like that, just because we had chemistry, unlike a lot of people. So.
Yeah, I get that. So where did your 2K name come from?
Originally, what my 2K name? Because this is a funny story. So obviously, the name Island Gang is our team name. Where Island Gang originally came from, if anyone watches the NFL, you know about a player named Darrell Revis, and his name was Revis. There was a nickname he had. It was Revis Island because he leads guys up on an island because he played corner in the NFL. So we decided we were going to be Island Gang. We were just going to name ourselves after NFL corners in the NFL. So Nate named himself originally Revis Island, but changed to Nate Island instead. Mine's named after Champ Bailey from the Denver Broncos. He was one of the better corners at the time, and I changed my gamer tag. I also like the name Champ because I think it's something short and simple to remember. So I think that's what helps me out when it comes to branding my own name. Slay originally his was Steven. His name is Stephen Lay. So he literally just used the first letter in his first name, and then used his last name and just made Slay Island. So, we had other guys. Used to have a guy named Namdi Island, but he was known as Too Tenacious. He actually was a top Madden player in the world, and he actually was in the draft in the finals. I think it was the final 8 or the final 4 for the draft champions thing on Madden. So, yeah,
Alright.
Crazy story.
Yeah, cool. So what would you say is your biggest achievement in 2K up until now?
My biggest achievement, overall, I've definitely played I'm part of a team that was top 5 2 years in a row for 2K. Obviously I won a 2K tournaments, but that I really don't think too much on that. I think my biggest achievement, it's just the overall how much better I got at the game. That's my highest achievement in my opinion, is how much better I improved. It's great that you win all these little tournaments and you win money, but at the end of the day, your individual performance is what's important. And I think that's my biggest achievement, is how much better I got. So.
All right, cool. So last question. Why do you think you should be drafted to the NBA E-League?
I definitely think that I bring something different to a team because I'm the type of person, I like to compare myself a little to someone like Kenny the Jet Smith. I like to compare myself to Kenny the Jet Smith. I don't know, actually, it's Stephen A. Smith. I'm trying to, but pretty much what I'm saying is I like to like think differently than everybody else. I'm usually the opposite. Like I don't like to like go with the like what everyone else is thinking. I like to think outside of things. I'm also very dedicated, and I actually work very hard to get better at what I do. Originally, in the beginning of the year, I wasn't very good at setting screens and like just getting like I just wasn't really good at the game in the beginning of the year. I think the thing is, I'm watching film. I'm constantly just up late trying to learn new things. I talk to other top very good centers. Like I talk to Ramo and I talk to NJ Sick1 and them, and I try to learn from their games and improve mine. So I think that's something like I try to like find new ways to get better. And the thing is, I think I'm the type of person that can get along with any players, and I think that's really important when it comes to the E League. That you get a guy that isn't going to be a problem in the locker room. So I definitely think that I can be a leader in a way, and I definitely look to more than just playing in the E League. I look to I want to start a thing like the Players Association. I want to do eventually. I want to do stuff like the Play 60 stuff, like stuff like that. Just like to motivate kids to think like this is something like that they can do, and it's actually like there's nothing wrong with wanting to be like a professional gamer or be a big time YouTuber. Like there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's something that needs to be more focused on, and honestly, kids should like want to do this. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up. That's all the questions that I have. So that is gonna wrap up this video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. Unfortunately, the end of the interview did get cut off, so you won't get to hear our final word, but it was still a pleasure to talk to Champ, so be sure to check him out. I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description. With that, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.